What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. For those of you new to the channel, my name is Vince Warburton and this is VW Fitness. I do fitness tech, supplement reviews, and lifestyle videos every single week. If that's something you're interested in, I'm going to give you guys a quick second. Smash that thumbs up button just because this is going to be a great video, and hit that subscribe and bell for notifications. There it is. I really appreciate you guys doing that. Now, I'm going to touch on one thing really quick here. I know that I say I do fitness tech videos, and I have done a couple of those, and I know that I say I do lifestyle videos as well. Unfortunately, I haven't really done any vlogging lately, and to be honest with you, that's about ready to change. More on that in a new video coming later. We'll talk more about that, but I did want to address that because, I don't know, I feel like sometimes people are like, wait, I've never seen a vlog. But you know what? Let's get to today's topic. We're talking about kind of a different sort of video today. Usually we do the supplement reviews. We talk about pre-workout, we talk about a protein, we talk about whatever, a supplement of any kind. And we kind of break things down. We talk about it in 3 different parts and that sort of whole deal. Today's is gonna be kind of different, kind of the same. And yeah, let's get right into it. Basically, we're gonna talk about Metabolic Nutrition's P.S.P pre-workout, but as you guys may or may not see, we also have the Metabolic Nutrition E.S.P pre-workout here as well. And if you guys missed it, we did the E.S.P review. You guys can hit that card here and check that out. We did a full review. Now, the reason why I'm not doing just a review on the P.S.P is that the way it's going to break down, and I'll talk more about this in a second, the ingredients, for me personally, I don't typically do what this is almost intended to do. In one sense or the other, if I was to just take this. Now, when you stack products, stacking, I think that's when things can be really beneficial. You can really get those efficacious doses. Unfortunately, the one big issue with these 2 products specifically is that they don't give me a complete label breakdown. So I don't know how much of each ingredient I'm actually getting. So it's always kind of difficult to really know what I'm taking. All right, guys, so like I said, this review is gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna break it down still kind of into 3 different parts. We're gonna talk about number 1, price. We're gonna talk about 2, the label ingredient breakdown. And then lastly, we're gonna talk about the taste. In this regard, taste is kind of important here, I guess. Again, that's kind of subjective and it's kind of one of those weird things. And actually, I'm going to throw in one last point. We're going to talk about stacking products, okay, and my personal thoughts on stacking and what I really think of it. Number 1, price. This comes in at $32.99. That's right off their website. And if you break that down, now this is kind of one of those weird labels. Again, the similar thing as the E.S.P as well as their E.S.P Extreme. They break it down into you can do 1 scoop, 2 scoops, or 3 scoops. Essentially for me, I'm going to sit right in the middle at 2 scoops, and that comes out at 16 grams. And with that, that comes out to about 22.5 servings. And with that price point, it comes in at $1.49.9. So $1.50 a serving. Not terrible. I'm going to give that price point a 3 out of 5. I think that's right in the middle ground. 3 is not a terrible score. It's kind of a weird deal. And like I said, this video is a lot different. And so it's hard for me to kind of judge it and give it a proper number, because for me personally, I wouldn't just take this. For me, I need stims. And obviously there's always a good point in everyone's fitness journey that they take a break from caffeine and all the stims for at least 2 weeks. And obviously something like this is a great alternative. But for me personally, right now, I'm not in that mode of taking a break off caffeine or any other sort of stims. So for me personally, you know, I'm gonna stack both these, and with that, that's gonna put this price point up to almost $3. And you know, when we start talking about that, you know, things get way out of hand. So I'm not even gonna touch on that. I think the price point, if you just buy this, is a great price point. It's right in that kind of middle ground, a little bit on the lower end in terms of price, which is always great. I love that. 22.5 servings, that's a good amount. I always like to see 30. You guys may or may not know that. Like, I think it's kind of cool, and they just give us 30 full servings and we can just kind of go from there. So overall though, 3 out of 5. So moving right into the label, guys, I said this about my E.S.P review. Unfortunately, they don't give me the exact breakdown of what is in this tub, what's in each scoop. So for the benefit of, you know, the channel and to give you guys, you know, the most honest review, I'm going to still break down the label, still tell you what's all in it, my personal thoughts. I mean, it's really hard for me to kind of judge these things because I don't know the amounts, but let's get right into it. So it is called the P.S.P Pre-Workout Proprietary Matrix, and it's consisting of beta-alanines, number 1. We have the glycolo, which is basically a glycerol product. We have some creatine monohydrate. Love to see that. I don't know how much, but still love to see that. We have the tripep, which is basically their BCAAs. They also sell that product separately, as far as I know. I have not tried that. We have some agmatine sulfate, some citrulline malate, arginine silicate, N-acetyl L-tyrosine, some choline bitartrate, L-norvaline, and then we have the 1,3-dimethyl 1-H-purine 2,6, and essentially that is theobromine. Again, it's kind of weird how they're using these scientific names. I said that in my E.S.P review, but you know, label's a label. You guys do your own research. Make sure you research these things. Make sure you look into them, and you'll get the effects that you guys want. So then we have some norcochlorine, some B6, B3, and B12, which is kind of common, those B vitamins. I see that in terms of kind of a natural energy source in a sense. Overall, this is basically a pump product. That's what I'm going to call this. It is basically a pump pre-workout, non-stim pre-workout. And so for the label, I mean, it's 16 grams for 2 scoops, which is obviously a pretty good amount, but I just don't know what's in it. So with that being said, you guys are gonna know where I'm gonna go here. 1 out of 5. I think it's silly that they don't put the amounts of what I'm getting in each scoop, or 2 scoops, or 3 scoops. And it's really interesting because in my E.S.P review, I actually talked about how the E.S.P Extreme, which is the brand new pre-workout, and I did a full review on that as well, they actually gave a full label breakdown. So I'm not sure, maybe they'll update this label and come out with a new label and basically tell us what all's in it. I think that'd be really cool. But for now, you know, it is what it is, and you know, we'll go with it. So let's get right into taste, guys. Like I said, we are stacking both these. Now, I will be completely honest up front with you guys. This is a completely unpaid review, okay? I did reach out to Metabolic Nutrition, or actually they kind of reached out to me as well after I did my E.S.P Extreme and said, you know, would you like to talk about our regular E.S.P? Would you like to talk about the P.S.P and then maybe stacking those products? And I said, yeah, that'd be great. I always love when companies send me stuff because obviously I'm able to bring you guys the freshest, newest content to the channel. As well with that, obviously I'm saving myself some money by not having to go out and buy the pre-workouts at GNC, which is what I had to do with a good chunk of those. But shout out to them. Thank you for doing that. But like I said, guys, this is completely unbiased, unpaid, no script, and we're keeping it 100% real here. So let's get right to it, guys. Like I said, they, I just shook these up, so they're a little powdery. Basically, when they did reach out, they asked me what flavors I wanted to do. I said basically fruit punch. That's kind of my typical go-to, kind of my safety flavor, if you will. Like I said, we're gonna do 2 scoops. This recommends 8 to 10 ounces of water, but because I'm stacking, I'm adding even more powder into this. I'm actually doing 12 ounces of water. I know I typically don't do that in the reviews, but again, this is a little bit different review. So we're gonna do 1 scoop there. And like I said, guys, I did do this yesterday. I'll talk about that here in a second. But I think it's really important to stack these sort of products, especially if you're someone that's looking for a fully dosed product. And obviously that's really difficult for me to say in this regard because I don't know how both of these products are dosed. Yesterday's workout was a great pump. It was a big arm day, which typically those days are not like really intense for me. I never really feel like arm day is ever really like that crazy. Like leg days, yes. Back days, yes. Chest, like those big muscle groups, compound lifts, I really feel it. Whereas like kind of the smaller like auxiliaries, I will call them, not as much. So we'll give this a good shake. So in terms of mixability, guys, very good mixability. Like I said, I did this yesterday, so I kind of know what to expect here. I know how this is going to taste, which we'll get to that here in a second. But you know, some small grains here on the very bottom, which is kind of a natural thing. I kind of see that with a lot of pre-workouts. We'll get to the taste here. Yeah. So, I mean, both products, I think, use the same sort of flavoring system. So when you do a fruit punch and fruit punch, it's just like super fruit explosion in your mouth, which is pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a fruity guy. Yeah, I said it. But you know what, this, guys, the taste of this is incredible. I think it tastes really good. Some people may not like it. I think it can come off maybe a little bit sweet. There is kind of this sweetness and then kind of this tart at the very end. I really like that. It kind of balances things out. It doesn't make it feel like it's like this really overly sweet pre-workout. And like I said, that's literally 16 grams here. And then with the E.S.P, we had another 6.6 grams. So basically a 22.6 gram scoop, guys, which is on the higher end for sure in terms of size. Now, like I said, we are stacking both products. And let's talk about that. I think it's very important when you take something like the E.S.P, the E.S.P Extreme, or even some of these other products back here for sure. okay? And obviously a lot of different supplement companies have their own reasoning and their own kind of idea on how they want to market their products, how they want to design and formulate their products. And there's a lot of research that goes into these things, as well as the bottom line. Guys, just remember that. These companies are all companies. They're all trying to make money, which I respect. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing that's really important, or for me, that I kind of want to tell you guys, so at least you can kind of understand where I'm coming from, is that I want to take something that's fully dosed, okay? And I want to get both the stim side of things as well as the pump side of things. And that's very difficult. I might get some clash back here. I think it's very difficult to kind of get both. When you're trying to get both, it's difficult. There's a lot of research that says like taking over 273 or 275 milligrams of caffeine, like it's going to start constricting the vasodilation, right? It's going to constrict everything, which is going to not allow us to get that good pump. But at the same time, okay, well, we take 8 grams of citrulline, that's going to help expand everything. So how do these chemicals and these compounds interact in our body, and how does it affect us while we go work out? That's a really interesting question. For me personally, getting back to stacking, I think it's very important to stack. And I've kind of shared this on my Instagram page. You know, I give you guys a weekly breakdown of what all I'm gonna stack for the week. And again, this week I talked about doing this stack here, and I've done the Ghost Pump product, and I've stacked that with actually a lot of other pre-workouts just to increase the amount of pump product that I would like for me personally. And so it's really interesting. Like I said, there's companies like Pre-Gym, Pre-Caged, those pre-workout Lift, I would say almost as well. A lot of those pre-workouts, they're fully dosed. They're gonna give me all the pump stuff. They're gonna give me all the stim stuff, maybe not as high in both of those, but combined, they're a pretty good pre-workout all around. Whereas like someone like myself, or somebody that's been taking a lot of pre-workout lately, or just anybody really, stacking products actually benefits you in the sense of you're getting everything in a fully dosed scoop. And it's crazy to say that. It's absolutely insane for me to say that. But because it's super expensive, and as a consumer, I personally would rather just go to a company and be like, give me the 40-gram scoop of all the pump products and all the stim products, and give it to me all and make it taste really good and mix really well. And I think that's really difficult. And I think the other thing is that not a lot of people really want to go that far. And not a lot of people are going to pay that much to go that distance to get everything. So it's really cool that companies like, you know, Metabolic Nutrition, Ghost, a whole, you know, Bucked Up does it as well. Like they sell their products kind of individually. You can stack it as you please. You can add things, you know, take things out, whatever you want to do. You can kind of create your own pre-workout. And I think that's really cool. I think it's really important. And it kind of allows us as consumers and us as people to kind of make what works best for us right here, right now, which is great. So yeah, guys, you know, that's kind of my speech on stacking, kind of my personal thoughts. For me personally, I have so much stuff here that I'm stacking everything. I'm trying to experiment and take different things and take different products and stack, you know, different products. I take the E.S.P and I can mix that with Ghost. I could take the E.S.P, mix it with Bucked Up. You know, I can mix these products with a lot of other products, and that's kind of the cool thing when it comes to stacking products, is you can kind of design your own pre-workout, which is pretty cool. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna smash this back, okay? I'm gonna go hit a leg day. Again, we're not gonna take you through a full workout. I just don't think it's as important here. I think the biggest thing here I wanted to kind of come across or tell you guys about, talk about today, was stacking products, the importance of it. Really just read your labels, take samples of these products, see what works best for you, and kind of come up with what works best for you. And that's what I've always told myself, is that I want to always put myself through the trials and really figure out what works best for me. And that may not work what's best for you. So just always remember that, guys. That's my biggest key takeaway here from this video, is just remember that what works for me is not necessarily going to work for you. So if you guys enjoyed this video, which I hope you did, this is a lot different. Like I said, guys, a little more laid back, a little more like I just get to talk to you guys about stacking and take a little pre-workout. Tastes really good. You know, if you guys enjoyed it, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe and bell for notifications, guys. We got a ton more content coming. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.